Welcome back to Pouur Decisions, and I'm excited to be here with Kristen Hannie, and her company is Ducy Designs. As you can see, all the design, backgrounds and everything that we have going on here, right?
Hard slab samples, yes.
All right, so inspiration for Ducy Design, like how did you get started with this business?
Yeah.
And why?
So why? Really my why is because, interior design's all I ever wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a young child, when I was, there was a story when I was in 6th grade that I was up on an 8-foot ladder, like faux finishing my bedroom walls, Ralph Lauren denim blue, because it was like the cool thing to do at that time, right?
No way.
Yeah, and my dad walked in and was like mortified. I'm in 6th grade, I have paint, I'm on a ladder, and he's like, "What are you doing? And did your mom know this is happening?"
Oh my gosh. Okay, did your mom know what was happening?
She did. She took me. Yeah,
she took me
to get all the paint at Sherwin-Williams, So yes, they knew, and they always just really encouraged it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really fortunate and blessed that I feel like I kind of came into life with a passion, with a specific passion. I think a lot of people search for that, and so I do believe that I'm fortunate and lucky that I found that at an early age, which is a cool thing.
Yes.
And really, so my undergrad was in interior design, and went on to grad school to earn my MBA in marketing, layering into it. And I found myself working at two different luxury design firms along my journey.
Okay.
So
were they in Ohio or were they, another state?
They were in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in Ohio, and just gained some incredible experience, right? I kind of have this philosophy for young people: just surround yourself by the best. Yeah. Because the knowledge that you take from that is profound, and you will carry that on with you. You know. Yeah. So I had some really great opportunities, and then unfortunately, depending on the way you look at it now, I was actually laid off. Right in the very beginning of COVID. Okay. And so that actually propelled me to start the business. I was already doing some things on the side, and at that point I just said, all right, well, let's give it a shot. Why not? Why not? And it ended up being the best thing. It ended up being the push I needed and the best thing I ever did.
Oh my gosh. So the internships that you did and all reinforced your love for it. Because sometimes people do an internship and they're like, oh gosh, no, I hate this. Yeah. But it just made you even more interested in doing interior design.
Oh yeah. And the schooling, that I feel like everything is really, really, truly learned and taught in field, at the firms, at the studios,
Yes.
You gain so much knowledge. So absolutely, I loved it. I loved it. And the name Ducy Design is actually, Ducy is my maiden name. So I'm the youngest of 3 girls, and so, my parents didn't have that legacy and their kids to carry it on. So now at least we've got it in the business.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any family members that help out with the business?
Not yet. I mean, my husband, inadvertently gets shifted in moments of I don't know what I'm doing here, but no, it's 100% me. My oldest daughter has shown some interest, but she's young. She's got a ways to go. So we'll see what direction, she takes and what her path looks like.
Yeah. Well, you were 6 painting, sixth grade. Yeah. So you were young when you knew that. So she might.
You never know.
No, right?
She is my little creative bug. So we'll see. That would be amazing. I would love that. I would truly love that. And so now I think my why behind why I do this is, so many entrepreneurs, you look at the environments you were in and maybe saw some of the things that weren't working and say, how am I going to do this better? Yeah. And so there is a culture in a lot of design firms that's unhealthy. There's a lot of ego. There's a lot of just negativity that I've seen and experienced. And so my goal has become giving myself and other creatives a healthy environment to be able to do what they love and give our clients what we love to do and give that love back to them and in a way that serves all of us. And then also empower women, young women, to believe that truly they can do whatever they put their mind on out to do. So absolutely. It's a beautiful thing.
That is. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so how does, so you have a client.
Yeah.
How does the process work?
Yes.
Do they physically come here and pick through, the different samples, or, is it, do you do a mood board or something like that and submit it to them? I mean, I'm sure technology has changed the way that things are done. But...
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a great question. Generally what's happening, especially in interior architectural projects with the new builds, renovations, we are first initially collecting all of their wants, dreams, pictures. It's conversations, and it's just an information collecting time frame. We take that and then we begin drawings and 3D renderings. So those things we're doing in studio here with the team, and then we're presenting that. That initial presentation is generally done over Zoom. It's all digital. So that's the cool thing about what I do is we have projects. We did one in the Bahamas. We have many in Arizona going. We just installed one in Pennsylvania. So it's cool.
Yeah, you worldwide.
I mean, you get there. You need a measure. There's certain touch points throughout a project, but it's not like you need to be there to really do what we do. And then the next step, once we've nailed down that floor plan and the preliminary renderings, then we go into the material selection process where we custom curate up 2 unique schemes for that client, and it's all based upon what they want for themselves. I always like to say I could have the same house, same property for 10 different families, and that house is going to be totally different. Meaning, because everything we do is with the intention of how you live, of how to elevate your life. And if you have 4 kids, or if you're empty nesters, those are so different places of life. And so the end result is going to be so different, So we procured 2 separate material schemes and finish and fixture packages. And essentially they choose what they like the best. They're both gorgeous. The fixtures are gorgeous. You
can't go wrong with either one. But...
Sure. But really, they get the autonomy to make the final choice. And then from that point, we move into construction documentation. So we're elevating to great detail all of any molding, trims, metal, specialty metal applications, custom cabinetries, fireplace design, all that good stuff. And then we're teaming with really talented builders, contractors to essentially execute it in the field. So it's a process, and we rely on great trades to make it all happen.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. What's the longest project you've ever worked on?
The longest, probably from us starting to construction, installed, and completion, probably a year and a half.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what's typical?
So I would say that if it's simply maybe a first floor renovation. And we're doing that and the furnishings package, because what I described to you prior was just the process with construction. We also do all the furnishings as well and curate those packages. So if we're doing the construction and the furnishings, you could look at a total design process of 4 months, 5 months. And then assuming then after that, then you engage your contractor and then you execute it. So I think, for people who are saying, hey, if you're 6 months, if you're 2 quarters away from wanting to start a project, you need to be nailing down your design team, whether it be an architect, designer, whatnot. That's the time to engage it. You don't reach out to them 2 months before you want construction to start and say, hey, and we get those calls, and I want to be able to help them because they're like, hey, we're scheduled, we're ready to rock. And I'm like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable for you. Please pause, So, yeah. But new builds, of course. There could be a year of planning. And then a year of construction before you're installed,
right?
You know, and they're in there living and enjoying it. So,
but it's exciting that, you know, you're seeing them go along through the process, and then the excitement when they're like in, and then they're like, I love this space.
Yeah,
you know?
it's the best. It's the cherry on top. Yeah, like the final installs are just, I mean, it's what it's all about. It's you know, it's one of those processes. They've invested a lot of money through a long period of time without really seeing the benefit of it until the end. So it can start to get a little daunting, and like that, like, oh man, like, you know, you're looking for that validation, and so it's a lot of trust that they put in us, so yes, having that for us to enjoy, but of course, most importantly, that they've gotten the final result that they really want.
Right.
Huge.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah. That's the why. Yeah.
Okay, so during the process of starting this, did you encounter like any legal aspects that came up? You know, like when you started your business, or was there a time or times when you were like, oh man, I wish I had an attorney I could ask this question to, or okay, and there may have been more than one. I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I would say that when I first started, I was, you know, that business owner that Googled and like kind of put together from like, oh, I've seen this in the past, I'll take a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You know, it was like the buffet menu, and I put it all together, and that was my agreement. And I mean, I rolled with it for probably a lot. I don't even want to admit how long, but part of it became as I realized that my clientele were really elevating, right? So as I realized that my clients were attorneys, they were, you know, A-level executives. Like, we're getting to a point here where I need to make sure that it's part of the professionalism. It's part of them ensuring that they have confidence in me, and I'm providing an agreement that reflects that.
Right.
And then secondly, protect myself.
Right.
Because Absolutely. I don't know what I don't know. I know I like to make things pretty, but I have no idea legally how to like make sure that I'm doing it in a way that will serve my business in the long term. So I would say, you know, we were really fortunate rolling off that agreement. We didn't have any bombs, big bombs dropped, but there were little things that we dodged, and we got lucky. Yeah.
So now you have like an attorney drafted agreements and all.
Yes.
Oh, good. So important that, you know, because it's key with the businesses to, you know, make sure whatever those agreements are because you're working with other vendors to like, I don't know, work together for your clients?
Yeah, so we have agreements with our clients directly, but then we're also relying on other general contractors to actually execute our designs, which we're not in agreement. We don't have an agreement with, but the client has it with the contractor. And then we do have vendors that we're buying furnishings from wholesale and procuring it. But at the end of the day, we are responsible for ensuring the final installation is, you know, what everybody is expecting it to be at the end of it all. So yeah, there's a lot of hands in the pot.
Right, and everybody has to like be on the same page and understand this is the goal, mission, and these are the, you know, objectives that we're looking to achieve, and how the timeline, how it's going to be performed, and specifics. So you want that documented. So those agreements with her, you know, Ducy Design or any other business is so important, and I always tell people, yes, there's a cost involved, but it's better to pay it up front than down the road if you find out like, oh my gosh, my agreement didn't cover that, and, you know, and now you're trying to backtrack and pay for things, and it's a lot more costly.
Oh yeah. I would agree with you. And that was like one of my big takeaways is having a solid agreement and having it reviewed annually, because you know, laws change, and there's things as your business adapts. For example, we started traveling a lot more in the last 2 years or so. And so I kind of added lingo in, like, okay, hey, here's our daily travel rate, or here's what we reimbursed for. But again, I'm ad hocing this, and I have no I don't know if this is solid, you know? And so there were things over the years that I had pulled into it and you know, I didn't have any issues, but like, I realized we got to pause here because I'm really concerned. Something that my attorney did express and was totally valid is that making sure that for our property, that our home, like the homeowners are actually on the deed, or who is on the deed of the property in which we are doing the work at.
Yes.
And if both husband or wife are on it, you know, both partners need to sign it.
Yep.
Because,
need to be on the agreement.
Because let's say they get
a divorce
midway through, and Mr. doesn't keep the house and he doesn't want to pay for you know, the $100,000 of the furniture that you just procured for them. You are stuck, you know?
Yes.
So that was pretty eye-opening. I'm also finding that a lot of our properties, you know, they're in trusts. And who is actually legally able to sign for them.
Yes. Oh, yes. So many intricate details that, I mean, and you're thinking, I'm just
making the world pretty, you know? Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that's so important and good to hear that, you know, you saw the need for, especially as your business changed, to the elevation in, you know, like the documents that you need for your business, and then made sure that you have them.
Right.
So remember that, and please take Kristen's advice and do the same thing.
I'm trying to think. Another big one that we learned was ensuring that our subcontractors are carrying insurance. And I realized that at the end of the day, although we have most of the general contractor has the subs underneath them and they're in agreement directly with a homeowner, we are, you know, doing something such as wall covering. I might be coordinating that and coordinating the install. Or there was a period of time where I had somebody that was like super temporary, that was a 1099, a college student who was helping me out for onesie, twosie project, and they weren't a W-2. But if they had driven a car into the person's garage, you know,
then you could be liable, even though,
and my insurance wouldn't cover.
No, and then who's gonna pay for that damage, you know?
Right.
And is your employee or the independent contractor gonna say, well, I was actually an employee, not an independent contractor?
Right.
So, you know, what agreement do you have with that?
Totally.
1099 person?
Yeah, and like making sure, are your people really 1099 or are they really meant to be a W-2?
Right.
Because I'll tell you, all of our interns immediately were like, okay, we've got to rethink things and realign, and it makes me feel better. You know, I would rather walk the line of being safe and being on the righteous side than have to worry about the lateral. You know, just be above board.
Absolutely, I cannot express that enough either. Is that, you know, just being able to have those documents and just your legal coverage there, and that peace of mind that it brings I mean, of course, nothing is foolproof, but the more protection that you can have, the better. Yeah. And just taking the time to get it done and paying, you know, an attorney to get it done, you'll be, you know, so much better. Right. Yes. Yeah. It gives me peace of mind, and you know, there's no amount of money that can pay for, you know, peace. So it's you got to do it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So how did you, when you first started, how did you get your first clients? Was it because of already having like connections in the industry and having done work for other people and then they referred, or were you out like boots on the ground, like actually, you know, marketing or something else? That's, So I would say in the beginning, it was really more of just, I had been in the business and the industry so long. So within social, or just seeing what people were, my community was able to see, oh man, look at this really cool install we just did in Chicago or whatever. And so it kind of grew, but then and then I would have, honestly, like my sister gutted a haunted house in Scottsdale, so we helped her out with that, and you know, and then, you know, so and then their friend wanted something, or and so it became
a colleague of my husband's, and it just became a very organic, natural thing. I didn't set out with no business saying, I want to start a business today. It kind of found me, and I was already in in it, and I just said, okay, well, and it just worked. And all of a sudden I had like 2 projects that presented themselves, and it was just organic. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that you got laid off, and then so you were kind of sitting around during COVID, like, all right, let's just do this.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. And it was the right time in my life. I am a proud mama of 2 young girls. So I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. And that time, Bella was less than a year old. And so it also gave me this really beautiful opportunity to be able to be
there with her.
Yeah. And like, I could work around naps, and I could be in the business, but then flop to her as I needed to, or get coverage for a little bit, and then work until 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock if I needed to, And I made it work for all of us, the whole family. And I just think, as crazy as it felt at times, and initially in the beginning, it was a huge blessing.
Yeah. And then, so what were your first steps? Like, were you like, okay, I gotta get cards, I gotta get a website, or what did you do first?
Yeah, I mean, because interior design is such a visually focused business, right? Like the first thing somebody's gonna say is, I want to hire an interior designer. You're gonna be like, let me see your Instagram and social and website, right?
Yeah.
Because unlike like an accountant or something, like that's how do you fact check that? Like you don't.
Right.
So I mean, you do, but in other ways. So I knew how critical it was for me to start collecting content, pictures, So anything I did, literally I photographed everything, even if it wasn't like the best project in the world. And I got the website up. That was number one. And now, of course, had business licenses, all that taken out, had my resale license established. But yeah, then it became the website, and which leads into your logo, business, all the marketing components, all that collateral. And then in the beginning, oh my gosh, it was such a blur. Right?
I know.
You know how it is. Yeah, like you're like, wait, what did all the things
what did I do?
What did I do? And yeah, I mean, the design agreement, a lot of setting up initial templates of here's our design presentation template, here's our construction documentation template, attempting to put our arms around processes. And I did hit a point within the first 8 months or so where I was busy, where I was like, I can't do this alone. So then starting to bring on staff and figuring out how, now we need the IT support and shared drive because people are working remotely, and now we need to engage a payroll company. So, it just grows. It grows. And it's scary at times, but it's also the best thing that you can ever do at the same time too.
Right. You're like, I would never give this up.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
How did you find the staff and that you just have now, or that really found that meshed well with your business and you and everything?
Yeah. That's good question. So I would say a lot of it is, it's a small business. At the end of the world, it's a small industry.
Okay.
And I would say, again, going back to any young person starting out, your internship isn't just an internship. These people are going to be resources and contacts for you for life.
Yeah. And
remember that, because there are even before I started my business, there were other people that I maybe enjoyed or didn't enjoy, or I felt like were really good team players. And I was like, I don't know if I would take that one. It's like, and so I think that, like, not that your whole entire life is an interview, it's not, but you collect your team as you go every day in life, and you don't realize that. And so my team has come from prior places I've worked, as well as referrals of my staff and who they've enjoyed working with, so it's been, and then we've also teamed up with local colleges. Our internships come from Kent State, OU and the local community college to be able to plug in. We've got some.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. We've had a lot of luck with interns and them turning into design assistants and designers. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's. Did that evolve, or were you always doing that with the interns?
That evolved.
Okay.
That evolved. Yeah, it's like you realize that, oh man, I need more help.
Yeah.
We need help. We need feet on the ground.
And having done internships, you knew like it's so beneficial. Like it's priceless to be like working hands-on, like not just in a classroom, like learning, the concepts and all, but like actually working with clients and understanding how to communicate and answer phones and do all the other work. So,
and I will say that generally the people the interns that we've gotten out of have been really hard workers, and because I think a lot of that's fueled by passion. It is an industry of passion. We are not. I know I would say an accountant, and I don't mean to be not, because I love my accountant, but like, it's not like we're getting CPAs. We have people that are like walking into us and they are so excited to do this in life, so it's just like there's a lot of good energy around it and behind it, and so when you get these like really eager, excited, passionate students, and they want to learn.
It translates into their work.
Yeah.
So like, oh yes, we want this. We love this, opportunity.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's been a beautiful thing, and still learning and still growing.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Has there been a favorite project that you did?
I would say 2. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw another one in there, but yeah.
Or favorites.
Yeah. So I would say one was this awesome home or property that we just finished in Pennsylvania. It's on Conneaut Lake. Oh. And it's the homeowners are awesome, and they it's a secondary residence for them, and this is kind of their house too. Well, they raised the kids when they were very young there, and they kept it, and but they come back to it and enjoy kind of time away from their busy lives. Okay. And it's a place, a sense of like a retreat, for them. And so it was just, they really went for it, and they did all the layers, and they did all of the construction and the furnishings, and they did it in a way that served them and that they love using, and so that was a really gorgeous property that we just finished up. And they, like I said, they were awesome. I like to say that we do fun projects for fun people.
Right.
We're cool people,
sure
and we have had to pass on because culturally, socially, like it didn't work.
Yes.
And they're just like really cool people, and I feel like our styles aligned. That a totally different podcast would be like how to know which designer to choose or what's the right one for you, right? But like, our styles aligned, and that's really important. Our communication aligned, and so the contractor communication aligned, and it just resulted in
things just flowed.
It flowed.
Okay.
Yep. And then another one would be a Westwood Country Club in Rocky River. So we had the honor to do their lobby space, 2 of the restaurant dining spaces. Yes, like common area corridor. So it was really, and that's a premier club on the west side of Cleveland for us. So that was really exciting to get that opportunity and be a part of that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I'm sure. So, I mean, your ideal client is that one where they're like, I want you to design the entire house.
Sure. Yeah.
But you'll do even smaller projects, like just one room or something like that. If they're like, I need some inspiration for my dining room or my living room.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do anywhere from a single powder room to complete new build, and so it varies. Now, would we travel to Arizona for a powder room? Probably wouldn't make sense. Probably wouldn't make sense.
Right.
But so there's some parameters there, of course. But yeah, I mean, if it all makes sense, and part of it too is it's like I have clients that come and they say, hey, eventually we're going to do it all, but like we need to break it up. Right now we're doing these 2 bathrooms, and then next spring we want to tackle the kitchen, and the next, and it's like the beauty of that is it's like there is continuity too for the client in the aesthetic, the experience, the process. They know, anytime you start anything new with somebody, it's a little nerve-wracking. And with design and construction, it is a long relationship. Like, it's not just, and it's intimate. They are learning. I mean, I know things about our clients that like you don't know about your attorney, or you don't know, because I'm in their home.
Or even your neighbor.
Yes, like. Totally. Yes, like I'm sure. So it is, I guess, a kind of a vulnerable place because clients are sharing a lot. Like I know where their closets are stored. I know what's in there. Like we planned for all of that.
It's very, very intricate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to really get to know them and their needs and how they function in life and where they store things and what they're storing and
their kids and how what their their routines are and how can we make maybe things that can feel frustrating or overwhelming seem a little bit easier by organizing things a little better and
I never really looked at it that way, but that's cool.
It is. It is. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Can help people, I would say, just feel a little more efficient and like streamlined. Like walk into a place and be like, oh, this is where I want. Like it's made for me. It's cut for me. It fits me. It feels good.
Yeah.
It's like having an outfit that was like tailored to you.
Yes.
You're like, oh yeah. Like,
every time I wear this, I know it looks.
I'm gonna feel good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so with the clients, do you? I mean, obviously you're selective because you want to make sure that they fit like with your business and all.
Right.
So, how do you? I mean, have you had? I know you said it before, but you've had to like sometimes just like tell a client, no, I'm sorry, like we're not a good fit.
Yes. So I have. And it could be for a multitude of reasons. It took me a long time to be able to identify who we wouldn't work with, and I'll tell you because in the beginning, especially, you don't want to say no.
Right, you're like no.
Yes, and that's I think that's good because you have to go through. You got to kiss some frogs to realize what that looks like, and what's not working, and how you can't, deliver on some of it in certain situations. And so, yes, I have had some situations where like I just morally couldn't.
Like, no.
I mean, I'm somebody that my character, my integrity, those things are not just words to me. They are things to be lived by, and I felt like by working with some of these people, I would have to compromise some of that, or I'd have to like put myself on myself and my team in uncomfortable positions. So so we had like in one particular case, I had contracts signed, sealed, ready to go, retainer in hand, and it was like, I'm sorry, I just can't. We can't do that. I also have discovered that situations or projects where you're having to compromise maybe your process for something. So it could be like, hey, normally our process is that we have 2 people working on this to fact check or to double check and make sure things are accurate. And if somebody's like, hey, can only one person do it? Maybe because they're trying to save on the design investment. I completely understand. But I have had situations where that ends up biting us because we can't, I can ensure a final product if I go through my process.
Right.
If I'm asked to compromise that, then I don't know, or I think.
The finished product.
What the finished product, and so now that again, I had a situation where I was eager to take a project. The client was great. Mm-hmm. She also was an attorney, and I did have to tweak my process, pull back in certain areas, and really it didn't end well for her or I. Both of us walked away feeling like just like not whole, and that nobody wants that. So I think know who you are, know what I know that if I do it this way, I can deliver. And if you're not confident that you can deliver, if you follow that, then maybe that's not the right project. Maybe that's not the right project.
Right, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're, if this is what's meant for you and you're doing things and you're in alignment with all, then the right people, the right clients are going to come to you. And even if you say, you know what, I'm going to send you to someone else that I think you'd be better suited with, you're going to get another client.
Totally.
It all just flows.
There is enough piece of the pie for everybody.
There is. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it just takes going through some of those. It takes going through the roadblocks to discover what is the right. So part of our process now, we do postmortem reviews on each project, and so we'll analyze, the number of time it took, the quantity of time it took, and did that track? Is that on track or off track with what we estimated the amount of time would be? What worked well? What didn't work well? Where did we maybe have to write some time off because something happened? And then what are we doing internally to address that? Is that a checklist? Is that a new note on our drawings?
Right. Right.
Is it that we need to make sure we have a specific walkthrough on every project? And again, if our client's trying to suggest that we don't need certain things, we have to know our process, and we have to follow it, because then I know that we'll have happy people, finished products at the end of it.
Right. Which is the goal.
That, yes, always the goal. Yeah.
Now, how about a poor decision that you encountered, but were able to overcome? And obviously, you're successful. You're still running this, amazing company. But what? And it can be one poor decision, or if there's a couple, but something that could share to just give some advice and insight to anybody that's watching or listening.
Yeah. So I would say the one poor decision, I had mentioned following your process. I hit that. That's definitely one. Another one is as you start to explore maybe different territories, different states, realizing that each state has their own laws
and nuances.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So there's some states that I can't, you can't video record a Zoom call. Even if you disclose it. So being, realizing that I think business owners, naturally, you're excited. You want to go and and do all the things, and it comes from a place of sincerity and enthusiasm and passion, which is a great thing. You just want to make sure that when you go into these things, you're realizing and you're doing it to protect yourself and your company too. And yeah. And we had a situation where we went into a new jurisdiction where I thought I understood what the resale tax laws were, and come to find out that I didn't. So after we had procured $200,000 worth of furnishings, I learned that the taxes, it should have been taxed differently.
Oh gosh.
Or I thought I did. And it came out that it was okay because there's a certain threshold that you don't need in this particular state.
Okay.
There's a certain threshold that you don't need to collect on in the first year.
Okay.
But then the next year you do. So that something like that, that even helps me to think what CPA firm do I want to work with? The one that I worked with has a specialist in just tax law. and how that how that all works. And had I been working with a smaller, maybe mom and pop shop CPA who doesn't have those resources, I wouldn't have had, I could make a call real quick and get an answer within 24 hours. I don't know, don't get me wrong, it was a sleepless night. I was terrified.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But because I was sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't collect sales, and I'm gonna have to go back to the client. I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to. This is gonna be a huge drop, and they're gonna be furious,
Right. Like, you should have known that before.
Yeah, totally. And I should have. That's that's the reality. But it is helpful to have the resources in your back pocket where I could make a pick up a phone call real quick and jump on a call and say, hey, what do we do? Here's the position. What's the law? What do we do? And being confident that I had a solid answer to fall back on, and it was okay. So that was good. Yeah, that was good. But it made me really grateful for, because when I first invested into our CPA, and it was an invest to me, it was like I made that jump from a smaller to a larger firm, and I was like, man, this is definitely more of an investment. Well, you get what you pay for, right? Like, there's a reason for that, and I'm discovering that along the way, that it's in times like that where you need the good people, so that way you can get the questions answered and make it right.
It's all about the team that you have that you're working with, and being able to utilize everyone in their capacity.
Right.
Like, okay, CPA, you're gonna help me make sure that the taxes and laws and everything are adhered to, and your staff, you're doing this in your role, in the business. So as long as everyone's in there on the right path of where they align with the best, then everything kind of just like works together.
Right.
But
that
team is really important.
So important. Oh, it is. Yeah. I can't do this alone. Like when you think about your staff, I literally can't. I can't do it alone. I am so grateful for my team, and they're so smart, and they're so driven, and they're so passionate, and so having that, to be able to pour into each other and energize each other and lift each other up. And it's a small business, right? So it's not uncommon that my senior designer might all of a sudden be jumping on helping out with developing our social media posts, or it might end up influencing so many different aspects of the business. So it's fun, but wears some different hats sometimes. And, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, that is a great area to do a toast to this amazing business and all the lessons learned that you've overcome, and just the progression, and I'm sure the exciting future that you have coming up. So
thank you for having me. I'm happy I was excited to be a part of this.
Yes. So we'll pour a Grenache and Syrah Esteban Martini to, Ducy Design